Hello, everyone. Thanks for tuning in once again to Queen Ahmadiyyah TV presents More Than Meets the Third Eye. So as you're coming in, please feel free to go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Be sure to click the notification bell and click the word all so that you're notified each time the Queen Goddess goes live. Also, don't forget to like and share this video. Okay, you can follow me on Instagram at Queen Ahmadiyyah also on Instagram at _goddess divine _goddess 27, and Twitter at dgoddess27, Brighton and Patreon at Queen Ahmadiyyah. Okay, so I hope everyone is doing good. Oh, so they said just in time, 10 seconds left. Okay, so with that all being said, people, I just want to do a quick video because I have to go to the gym and work out. And let me tell you something. I don't always feel like going to the gym. Now, I do, however, like to work out, but going to the gym, sometimes I find it sliding lower and lower on my to-do list because I work so much. I have a lot to do throughout the day, right? So with that all being said, I have to try to find time to fit everything in. And that can be frustrating. And that's the reason I want to talk to you about self-motivation, spiritual motivation, because there are a lot of things that many of us have to do, and we just can't get motivated to do it. And what do you do when you're not motivated to do something? You tend to, just procrastinate and say, well, I'm not going to do it today. I'll do it tomorrow. And then tomorrow comes, and then something else comes up. And then you say, okay, you know what? I'm really going to start it tomorrow. But before you realize it, you have continuously put things off that you absolutely need to do and that you should in fact be doing, right? How many times do we say things we're going to do as a New Year's resolution? And then the New Year comes and almost is gone or it's completely gone. And we haven't done anything that we said we were going to do. So with that all being said, you have to make, time to do the things that you need to do. And you have to make yourself be more disciplined so that you're motivated, inspired, and encouraged to do the things that you need to do. And that could pertain to whether it's work, whether it's something for yourself, something personal for yourself, like if you're trying to lose weight, like if you're trying to stop smoking cigarettes, if you want to stop drinking altogether, if you want to go on a plant-based diet, anything that you're trying to do that's beneficial and positive for yourself, you need to be focusing on that. And though sometimes it's very hard to motivate yourself, and especially when you have people around you who are not, being positive all the time, people who are not always trying to encourage you. In fact, some people are trying to discourage you, right? So when you have all of these outside influences and then you're not really focusing on things, that makes you very often not feel motivated to try to improve your life. And, that is nothing but the devil. That is nothing but the devil. And I don't mean like literally a devil with horns and a pitchfork. No, I mean like the lower self, because we have our higher self, remember, heaved up into the heavens, meaning the head, and the lower self with the low vibrational energy that keeps us from accomplishing our goals and dreams that we set for ourselves. And here's the thing. A lot of the times, the reasons we don't accomplish our goals is because we set them too big. Now, not to say that you can't achieve them, but sometimes it's best to start out small. Like, don't sit here and say, well, I want to make $1 million this year. Well, unless you have a for sure way that you can make $1 million, that's like a crazy goal for some people. So maybe you should say, I want to make $20,000 more this year than I made last year. And then make that your goal that you focus on. And then likely before you know it, you'll have made even more than that. But you want to make it an obtainable goal, something that's realistic, right? Okay. So thank you, Millie. Millie says exactly facts. Pearlie says, I need this, Queen. Thank you. You're welcome, beloved. I need it too. Let me tell you something. This is therapy, right? Not only for you, but for me. When we talk about these things, it's like a group session where we can talk about, things that we can do to empower one another, right? Yep, I'm not today sick of being out of town with my husband family. Never again. All right, beloved, absolutely. Now I know that can be frustrating. And Nicole says I'm a bad procrastinator. Let me tell you something. I used to be. Oh my goodness, that was one of the worst things about myself. If I could list one of the worst character traits that I had when I was younger, it was procrastinating. But let me tell you something. Procrastination kills your dreams. Because you can sit there and keep procrastinating, and before you know it, so much time has gone by. 10 years can go by. You have allowed your dreams to go on, just to fall by the wayside. You haven't accomplished any of your goals. And then you start looking at your watch and say, you know what? I've only got a few good years left. So that's why you cannot allow procrastination to stop you from doing what you need to do, from achieving your goals, right? That's right. Cole says short-term goals to long-term goals. Absolutely. So with that all being said, let's talk about some things we can do to motivate ourselves. Because sometimes other people don't motivate you. Like I said, some people are haters and they'll smile in your face and act as though they want to see you win, when clearly they love to see you lose. And in fact, some people are not really your friends. They're just pretending to be, so that they can really have a front row seat to your demise and to your failure. And they will aid you in your downhill slope. Right? What they'll do is they'll tell you negative things and make you think you're crazy for wanting to achieve certain goals. And, they'll bring negative things to you and always try to make you feel bad when you have a problem that you want to talk to them about. Let me tell you something, people. Let's talk about this. For one, when you have people that you go and confide in, and you're hoping, now you may not say it to them, but inside, you know that you're hoping that they will say something positive about your situation. Just something to make you feel a little bit better. You may be feeling down in the dumps, and you just want somebody to give you a little boost, to give you a little bit of encouragement, tell you something positive, right? But instead of doing that, they always make it worse. They'll just tell you something worse, right? And so with that all being said, those people are not really your friends. You see, friends don't tell you things to hurt you. Now, I'm going to say this. Let me clarify. Sometimes people have to tell you things that hurt you. When they're being completely honest, they may tell you something that's not good for you, and they actually are being honest about that. Maybe they know something that you don't about a person you're dealing with, and they're trying to warn you. But what I'm saying is this. Here's how you can tell the difference. One of the ways. But when a person is telling you something that they know may potentially hurt you, or you're not going to be thrilled to hear it, it's all in the presentation. It's all in the presentation. They can come to you in a sincere and humble way and look you in the eyes and discuss it, right? They can discuss it with you. But if someone comes to you gleeful and smiling, and they have bad news to give you that they know it's going to hurt your feelings, it's going to make you feel bad about yourself or the situation, that person is not your friend. Because why would you be happy to come and tell me something that you know it's going to hurt me? But there's people like that, so you have to watch out for those people. Because people who are really your friends, they don't want to tell you something that's going to hurt you. But sometimes they feel like they have to for your own good. And so they're not going to come to you happy about the situation. They're going to be hurt just like you're hurt, right? They're going to be hurt because they know that they have to tell you something that's going to hurt you. So there's a difference. And you have to pick your friends wisely and know the difference between those. But when you have people who are constantly, being doubting Thomases and negative Nancy's and always telling you something bad about your relationship or about your job or, about, your goals that you're trying to reach, they never have anything positive to say, that person's likely not your friend. That's clearly one of your haters. Okay? And at the end of the day, because here's the thing, though some things may be bad, if you look, if it's something you're trying to do positive for yourself, and it may seem like a bad idea to some people, they can also, as well as they can pick out the bad things about it or the reasons why it may not work, they should also be able to find reasons why it may actually work, right? They may be able to find the good and the bad things, the pros and the cons. But if all they can do is tell you a bunch of negative things about why you're not going to be able to achieve it, clearly they don't want to see you achieve it, okay? Some people are fine with you and they're perfectly happy and thrilled with you as long as the two of you or the group of you are on level playing field. What do I mean by that? I'm glad you asked. I mean, for example, if you have a friend, and this is just a hypothetical situation. Let's say you have a friend, you both go off to college. Your friend gets pregnant and has to drop out of college. But you're still going to college, right? And then something happens with you and you end up dropping out of college. So now you're both dropped out of college. Now you're both having a hard time getting a good job that's making the money that you want to make. And so your friend's fine with that. Your so-called friend, right? Your frenemy. But so then things get better. and you go back to college and you're doing good and you get your degree. And this friend, well, they've never made it back to college and they're still doing bad and things are not going the way they want and they're having issues in their lives. But meanwhile, you're happy. You've gone off to college. You've met somebody that you really like and you're having a good time with this person. Now, all of a sudden, this friend wants to start telling you negative things about this person. Now, all of a sudden, this friend wants to tell you, oh, you've changed. You're not like you used to be. Now you think you're better than everybody. But you haven't done or said anything to make anyone think that. That is nothing but a person who is upset because you have moved on past them. You see, there's levels in this game of life. And some people will just be so nice and just be happy and thrilled with you as long as you and them are on the same level. But as soon as you rise to another level and they haven't, they're still sitting back where they were from the start. Now they're looking at you with a side eye. And now that's when the green eyes of envy can show up. Now, I'm not saying everybody does this, but there are some people who that's the way they feel. They feel like if I'm doing bad, oh, I want them to be doing bad too. Or if you're doing good and they're not, they're like, why she got to be having all this? Or why does he have to be doing all that? And they start saying things negatively. And you know what? I read this about Terry Crews the other day. Now, we all know I think Terry Crews, in fact, I know Terry Crews is a big old Sambo and a coon. But I will say this. He was talking about why him and his wife have been married for 32 years. He said because he didn't listen to his so-called friends who were clearly haters. Now, at the time, he didn't realize they were haters, but later as he looked back, he said they were haters. He said there was a time when he was cheating on his wife and doing all these things behind her back, and then it all came to, the forefront, and she found out. And then so when he was talking to these so-called friends about it, they were saying, oh, now you can be single. Now you can be free. Oh, you need to just go on and divorce her. But they didn't have anybody. And we all know that misery loves company, right? So they wanted him to be in the same shoes with them. And that's how some people are. They don't want you to be doing better than them. And you know what people need to stop doing? Stop taking relationship advice from people who are not in a relationship. If someone can't stay in and I'm not just saying because somebody got a divorce or something like that, or they're not in a relationship at the moment. But if you see a person who literally is always in and out of a different relationship and they never find anybody to stick with them, maybe you shouldn't be talking to them. And while we're talking about it, let's talk about this. Let's talk about Derek Jackson. Let's talk about Derek Jackson and Kevin Samuels, because they're supposed to be relationship gurus, right? Do you know how many people were so surprised and so shocked and appalled when they found out these things about these men? When they found out about Derek Jackson. But let me tell you something. I saw a few of Derek Jackson's videos back when I was on Facebook and wasn't even on YouTube. And I would see his videos, circulating on Facebook, right? And I watched a few of them and I knew he was fake. First of all, I'm psychic, so I have premonitions and I can tell by people's energy whether I'm around them directly or not. But I knew he was fake. I didn't say anything. But I knew he wasn't being sincere. And so now then we find out that all this stuff he's been telling people, all these things he's been saying about men, just putting men down and telling women what they want to hear, because that's all he was doing. You see, he was trying to appeal to women's attraction to him, right? That's what he was doing. That's why he would come on videos with his shirt off, and saying all these things that, women want to hear and acting like it's always the men's fault. It's not always the men's fault. Let's just be honest. It's not always the men's fault. We have women that go out here and they run the same games that men run. We have some women who want men to do all these things for them, but they don't want to do anything for the man. They don't want to bring anything to the table. They feel like, oh, I'm the one, you should be doing this, that, and the third. They don't want to offer anything, right? Not spiritual, not intelligence, not financial, like working together to build things. So with that all being said, when you have people like Derek Jackson and Kevin Samuels, who clearly batters black women, that's as far as I'm concerned, he bashes black women. Like, I've never really heard him say anything nice and positive to the black women that he counsels or whatever you want to call it. I always hear him going in on them. He told one lady when he asked her, how did she rate herself? She said an 8. He said, you're not an 8. So she said a 7. He said, no, you can't say 7. What do you mean you can't say 7? But I've seen him go in on these women, and these women, they continue to listen to these people. And I'm like, this is all toxic. You know why that's toxic? Because the thing is this. While Kevin Samuels can sit there and tell people about themselves, all the negative things about themselves, first of all, he doesn't even know them. So I'm just wondering how he can tell them anything about themselves, clearly. But he tells these women all these negative things about themselves. But does he have anything positive to say? Anything to encourage them or motivate them? Oh, you're not going to get a man that makes all that money. You don't even make enough money yourself. You're not an 8. You're not even a 7. That's not positive. That's nothing but negativity. That's like beating someone down, right? Almost verbal abuse, if you ask me. And then Derek Jackson. Now, he played the game a little bit more because he was talking nice to women. He didn't care if he was upsetting the men because clearly he wasn't trying to appeal to them for the most part anyway. He was trying to appeal to women, and you could tell by the way he presents himself. So he was saying exactly what he knew women wanted to hear. And that's not good either, because you need someone to be honest with you. You need someone to tell you the truth about situations when you're asking for help, for guidance. You don't need someone to be a yes man and just tell you everything you want to hear. You don't need someone to just always say whatever they think you want to know. You need someone to be honest. That's why people like that are no good. They're no good for you, right? So with that all being said, when you're trying to get advice, you want someone who's going to be honest, someone who's going to actually care, someone who's going to be concerned, and someone who has your best interest in mind. Not someone who's telling you things because they know you're going to pay them, you're going to send them a cash app or whatever, but someone who really honestly has your best interest in mind, right? And I, for one, don't know why these people that are talking to these guys, I don't know why they don't ask the elders. Like, why don't they ask their grandparents, their grandmother, their grandfather, or even their mother or father? I'm wondering, their aunts, their uncle. Why don't they have older people that they can go to? People who have their best interest in mind, who love them and care for them and actually know them. That's what I would always suggest as going to first. Then if you don't have that, maybe seek outside assistance. But at the end of the day, wherever and whomever you get your assistance from, you need to make sure it's someone who is genuinely concerned about your well-being. Not someone who's just going to tell you what you want to hear, and also not someone who's just going to shut you down and put you down. And when you have people like that in your life, you need to try to slowly put them on a back burner. Some people, you have to love them from afar. You don't have to completely cut them off, but you need to stop giving them so much of your time and energy. Okay? Because you need to be giving that energy to yourself. You need to be trying to set goals for yourself. And here's something you can do to set your goals, people, and to see your goals through. First of all, you need to meditate. Meditating is quieting the mind, getting focused on things. You know, almost like self-hypnosis, because I practice that. Like, you should really try to focus on the things that you know you want and need to do and the things that you're trying to accomplish. You need to make a vision board and lay out on that vision board pictures of things that you want, or write it on there. Put it in a place you can see it. I told you, I screenshot mine and keep it in my phone because I'm always on my phone, right? So you want to visualize, because vision, seeing things as well as speaking, because, you know, speaking and thinking, you know, your thoughts are energy. And thoughts manifest, whether you think it's something good or something bad. That's why I don't like to think negatively, okay? I like to think positively, because you can accidentally manifest something, whether you even meant to or not. It just depends on what you think. That's why in the Bible it says, whatsoever man thinketh, that so he is. So if you sitting up there thinking, oh, I'm so broke, oh, nobody wants me, or I can't have a happy, healthy relationship, I'm never going to get a good job, then you won't. Because you're saying that. That's what you're putting into the universe. Speak positively about yourself all the time. Speak positivity upon yourself, and then positive things will happen. You also can refrain from being in the company of negative people. You cannot live a positive life when you surround yourself on a daily with negative people. People who are pessimistic, who don't want to talk about anything constructive and productive, but who are also who are always talking about things that are destructive. Right? So that's what you don't want to do. Okay? Yes, very true, Queen. My sister, real facts. Thank you, beloved. Thank you. So with that all being said, other things you can do aside from the vision board is you can give yourself positive affirmations. Okay? You can say, I am intelligent. I am worthy. I am loving. You know, just say positive things about yourself. When you get up in the morning, start your day off saying something positive. Open your windows and absorb the sun. When you go outside, gaze into the sun. Stand in the sunlight for a few minutes, right? Get your vitamin D flowing. The sun gives you energy, positive energy. So with that all being said, you can do things like that. You can listen to meditative sounds when you rest at nights, okay? I like to listen to Native American flute music, as I told you before. I listen to other meditative sounds, but I love Native American flute music the most. And that's likely because I'm Native American. Clearly, the ancestors are working through me, and that's why I'm so attracted to it, right? I love it. So also, yes, absolutely. Oyela says the sun is food. Absolutely. Believe in yourself as well, says Cole. Absolutely. If you don't believe in yourself, who does? Who will? How can you convince somebody else? You have to love yourself. If you can't love yourself, how can you love anyone else? And for those of you who find a hard time getting a relationship, finding someone suitable, someone who loves you, do you love yourself? That's not always the case, but sometimes it is. Because if you don't love yourself, how do you expect someone else to love you? Because people who love themselves, those are happy people. People who don't love themselves and who have self-doubt and low self-esteem, they're not happy people. They're negative most of the time, all of the time. And so when you're negative, you're going to attract negativity. So that's why you have to love yourself. When you love yourself and then know that you are worthy to be loved and capable of giving love, then you will draw someone who has that same energy to you. That's what you would do. So with that all being said, I'm not going to stay on here long, people, because I clearly have to go to the gym. But I wanted to tell you all this information because I think it's very important that on a daily that we give ourselves positive affirmations and that we say things that help us to lift our spirits, that motivate, inspire, and encourage us. And you can also say things that motivate, inspire, and encourage other people. You don't know, something that you say could save someone's life. You don't know. What if someone is on the brink of suicide? What if they have gone through problems and they're having a hard time? It could be something that you say to them that could turn things around. That has happened to me before. So let that be something that you also want to do. You want to plant seeds of happiness, plant seeds of giving people motivation and encouragement, okay? And always remember that there are going to be some that hate on you, but never let what other people think about you in a negative light, never let that affect you. Because you know what I tell people like that? However you feel about me, that's really none of my business. Because that's what they have to deal with. Okay, when someone is a hater and negative, that's what they need to deal with. I'm just going to separate myself and move on over to the other side, exit stage left. I don't have to deal with the negativity. I won't deal with the negativity. I'm not going to be around someone who always wants to be pessimistic, who always wants to argue, who wants to go back and forth. I'm not going to engage you. That is time consuming. That is so draining. That brings my vibrational frequency down so low. I don't have time for that. I try to stay happy and pleasant and peaceful and give off good positive energy and good vibes. That's what I strive to do. I'm not trying to entertain people who love to argue and bicker and go back and forth. And some people do that on purpose. You know why they do that on purpose? I'm glad you asked. Because they have demons attached to them. And the demons will not allow them to do anything peaceful, anything good. That will only allow them to be manipulative, negative, and always give them the ability to create chaos and sow seeds of discord. Because as I told you, pandemonium, demons, they engage in pandemonium on a daily. They cannot reside in a peaceful environment. So if you're dealing with someone who has demons attached to them, expect the worst because they're not going to do anything good for the most part. They will sometimes come back to themselves when the demons are, dormant, and they may say a few nice things, but as a whole, a collective, they're going to always be trying to keep up chaos and confusion and being negative. And when you have those type of people around you consistently, then the energy rubs off on you because energy is contagious. One thing I want to say is this: energy is contagious. Have you ever seen someone arguing, mad, being nasty to a person who's keeping their cool, and they just keep on going in, and before you know it, the person who was so cool gets upset too? What about if you walk into a room, you go to a party, and everyone in the room is happy and smiling and glad to see you, and then you're in an upbeat mood, you're happy and smiling and glad to see them. But if you walk into that same room and everybody's looking at you like, who told them to come? Did you invite them? Why the hell are they even here? I don't want to see them. And you see people whispering and turning up their noses. Now, all of a sudden, you have an attitude. You're like, what the hell's wrong with them? Why are they looking at me crazy? Now you have the same energy they have, because energy is in fact contagious. And that's why you should be careful of who you give your energy to, and be careful of who you allow to interact with your energy on a regular basis. Now, we all come into contact with negative people and negativity, randomly. You can't help that, because everybody's not positive. That's just not how life works. But what you can control, you can't control that. But what you can control is how close you allow these negative people to get in your circle. You don't have to be around them every day. You don't have to talk to them on the phone all the time. You can distance yourself from them. If you have to work with people who are negative, okay, just deal with them at work as need be. But when you get home, you don't have to take the problems that you have with them at work home with you. Okay? So with that all being said, thanks so much, Queen, for the inspiration and motivation. You're welcome, beloved. Absolutely. Tara says, brush the haters off. And let me say this also. When they say in the Bible, make your enemies your footstools, that's the same thing. And I told you this before. That's the same thing as make your haters your motivators. Okay? Don't let haters bring you down. Because haters, they're haters because it's something about you that they want and they know they can't have. So they're so envious. And that should make you smile, not frown at the end of the day. Just know who the haters are and how to deal with them. And on that note, I want to play this motivational video for you all. It's brief. But also another thing to remind you is when you feel like you're down and you're not, feeling motivated, put on a motivational video or put on some meditative music. Tell yourself numerous positive things about yourself. Because for every little negative thing you can say about yourself, I'm sure there's 10 positive things you can also say about yourself. So focus on your positive things, not your negative. The only time you need to focus on the negative aspects of yourself is when you're trying to change those things, right? When you're trying to change them. Not just sitting there feeling sorry for yourself and saying, oh, this is how I am. I'm never going to have this. I'm never going to do that. Don't say that about yourself. When you have negative things about yourself, focus on fixing them, not just sitting there and being consumed by them and worrying and stressing about them. Because whatever you have that's negative about yourself, trust me, I'm sure you can fix it. Okay? You can fix it if only you focus. All right? So I'm going to play this video, and after that, I'm going to conclude this broadcast. And I would like to remind you all to please like and share this video. I'm trying to grow this channel. This channel is very important to me because it's about spirituality. It's about being motivated, and it's about knowing about your true self, raising your levels of consciousness, getting into and walking in your Christ consciousness or your Kundalini energy, opening and using your third eye, activating the pineal gland, the optic thalamus. It's all about that. And that's why this channel is very important for me. There's people out here in these YouTube streets charging people for this information. I'm giving it to you for free because I want to impact people's lives. And I want people to go out there and impact other people's lives. I want people to spread knowledge and to use the lifelines and the information that I give you to not only improve your life, but to improve the life of someone else's. Okay? So the life of someone else. And so with that all being said, I'm going to play this. Craig says, Farrakhan, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and Malcolm X lectures remind me who I am and my open enemies are. Of course, the Queen Ahmadiyyah. Well, that is awesome, Craig. And absolutely, they remind me of the same. And let me tell you something. Those are some of the best lectures that I have in fact heard. Okay? So now I'm going to play this off for you. And thank you for sharing that, Craig. Saladin says, this knowledge is power. Thank you, beloved. DB Truth says, we need this, Queen. We really need this. Thank you, beloved. Okay, so now let's listen to this video. I'm going to share my screen. Let me pull this up. And this motivational speech is called, I Am a Champion. And that's what you need to tell yourself every day. You are a champion, right? You are a winner, not a loser. No matter what you go through, if you fall down, you get back up, you dust yourself off, and you keep on going, right? We have no room for defeats. So with that all being said, I want you all to listen to this. This is one of my favorites. Okay? And there are others that you can find. Okay, so here we go. More hard than you feel about it. But there's another honor that you bestowed upon you. And that is the mantle that comes with that question. Who am I? I am a champion. That's right. You need to remember that all through this game.
I will conquer what is not been conquered. Defeat will not be in my creed. I will believe what others have doubted. I will always endeavor to uphold the prestige, honor, and respect of my team. I have trained my mind and my body will follow. Who am I? I am a champion. I will acknowledge the fact that my opponents do not expect me to win. But I will never surrender. Weakness will not be in my heart. I will look to my comrades and to those who have brought me to this world and those who have trained me, and I will draw strength from them. Who am I? I am a champion. I will gradually go out to the field of battle, and I will move in everything I can do. And I will reach my field of battle at any means at my disposal. And when I get there, I will ride violently. I will rip the heart from my enemy and leave it bleeding on the ground, because he cannot stop me. Who am I? I am a champion. To my side, I have comrades. Comrades have been through me through thick and thin, through sacrifice, through blood, through sweat, through tears. Never will I let them fall. Never will I let them down. And I will never leave an enemy behind. Because our opponent does not know my heart. Who am I? I am a champion. No one will deny me. No one will define me. And no one will tell me who and what I am. It can be. Belief will change my world. It has moved continents, it has moved countries, it has put man on the moon. And it will carry me through this battle. Who am I? I am a champion. Defeat, retreat, those are not in my words. I don't understand those definitions. I don't understand when things go wrong. I don't understand mistakes. But I do understand this. I understand victory, and I understand never surrendering. No matter how bad things go, my heart, my mind will carry my body, my limbs are weak. Who am I? I am a champion. Today will be that day. Not tomorrow, not next week, but right now, right here, in your house and in your home. Who am I? I am the champion. History will remember me. I will not let everybody have been kind. I will define myself. I will write my own praises. And no one will tell me what I can never be. I will never go out not knowing I've given everything I've got. Because who am I? I am the champion. 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 I am the champion. I am the champion. I am the champion. There's no these champions. I'm going 1, 2, 3. Champion. Don't get these boys.
Well, that is one heck of a coach and a way to get them motivated. And let me tell you, they crushed their opponents after that speech, okay? And that's what we will do, people. We will crush our opponents because we are champions. Never consider yourself a loser. Don't listen to the naysayers. You are greatness, and greatness is what you come from. And always remember that whatever you say after the words I am is exactly what you are. So I'm going to leave on that note. I would like to ask you all to please make sure that you like and share this video. Make sure you subscribe to this channel. I love you all, and thank you so much for tuning in. And until next time, Royal Family, I will talk to you all again soon.